welcome to the Game Forum. My name is Lindsay. Today I'm going to be doing a review on a slightly older game, Firewall 0 Hour. It's the free PlayStation Plus game of the month for February 2020. So if you haven't got it yet, definitely check it out and get it if you have a VR. To start with, the graphics are really good for PlayStation VR. There is a little bit of fuzziness around the edges, but in the heat of combat and running around, you don't even really notice it. So this one definitely looks really good, especially for what it is. You can tell a lot of polish has been put into it. Another thing you can see has a lot of polish put into it is the level design and variety. There's a good mix of levels, and no two really feel alike. Whether you're on an oil rig in the Middle East, whether you're at an oil rig, a TV studio, a cafe, a tanker ship, or a warehouse, there's always a good variety in the level design to keep things interesting, which is really fun. Also, a lot of the levels have lots of spaces to hide and corners. This really gives you a real tense feeling of not knowing where someone's going to be as soon as you go around that corner. Really helps heighten the tension in the gameplay. One more interesting tidbit about the level design: in every single level, there's little bits of currency and XP as info folders hidden around the level. Only one person can pick it up per level. It makes for an interesting kind of scavenger hunt minigame while you're going around trying to kill everyone. This game also uses the operator system, and I definitely like how it's been implemented here. Each operator comes standard with one perk, but you get to pick a second perk to go with it. That way no operator really is too overpowered, and you also get to see a lot of variety in which operators people actually get to play with. You're not just going to see the one character over and over and over again because they're ridiculously OP, as in some other games, which is nice. There's limited customization on the operators. You do get to change the color of their outfits in different areas and the logo on their arm, but nothing too drastic. There are a lot of weapons in this game, which is really great. However, a lot of the weapons do tend to feel a little similar, so it's mainly going to be based on looks for some of it. But there is a good variety in at least the types of weapons. You have your short-range SMGs, a couple shotguns, and a lot of assault rifles. I also like how they've continuously been adding weapons into the game as well. Another great feature in this game is the weapon customization system. As you level up, you unlock different attachments you can have for each weapon. For example, on the barrel you can change out for a flash suppressor, a compensator to help reduce recoil, or a suppressor to take yourself off the map when you fire. There's also other things you can tweak around the gun, like the magazine. You can add a laser, different types of sight, paint, and the keychains. The game comes with 3 modes, kind of. One is a tutorial just to help you get started. One is a training mode where you're only going to be playing against bots. It's good for starting off, but it's kind of boring. The bots are not very hard, they're pretty dumb. But where the game really shines is its online mode. The online mode consists of a 4v4 objective-based game mode in which you switch back and forth between attacking and defending objectives. Each game starts off with 2 teams of 4 players on either side. One team has a limited amount of time to try and set traps, whether it be mines, jammers, all sorts of things to try and hinder the other players. This can get really tricky because in VR, you can place things in really sneaky places, so you really have to pay attention if you're on the attacking team. On the flip side, the attacking team has to spread out and find 2 firewalls. They only have to hack one of them. This clears the way to go and try and hack the laptop. If the defending team is killed, it's not an automatic victory. The attacking team still has to attack the laptop, hence where all the traps can come in. And even after a whole team is wiped, the attacking team can still lose if they can't find a jammer in time, or if they're all taken out by hidden mines. So even after you've killed all the enemy players as an attacking team, you still have to be on guard and still move at a brisk pace before the timer runs out. This really helps keep the tension up and really gets you pumped in the matches. It's an experience like no other game you could really play. Every player only gets one life. If you're downed, a teammate can revive you, but you can only be revived up to 3 times. Then you stay down. There are other things in the game you can do and special abilities to essentially revive yourself, or have a pistol to revive someone from a distance while staying in cover. This can really make for some interesting gameplay mechanics. Once you do die, you're not quite out of the game yet either. You actually get to spectate from security cameras placed all over the map. And since every PlayStation VR headset comes equipped with a mic, you'll see a lot of people using mics in this game. And they'll be able to communicate to you, and you can communicate to them where the enemies are at. This means that even after death, you can still participate in the game and help coach your team to victory. However, it can be difficult to find the right camera you need for the right moment. This is an experience that is very unlike a flat screen shooter. Being in virtual reality, having everything and everyone all around you, just makes for an experience you cannot match on a TV. I play Call of Duty and I like Call of Duty, but trying to compare this to Call of Duty is like trying to compare apples to oranges. Lastly, I'll talk about the experience between playing with a PlayStation 4 controller versus an aim controller. You can play the game with a standard PlayStation 4 controller. It does work, and it is okay. It's still a fun game, and you still have a lot of fun with it. It just feels a little unnatural to be holding a controller in place of where the gun should be. It just feels a little off. Comparing that to the aim controller is a completely different experience. This game was definitely designed from the ground up to utilize the aim controller. Playing this game with an aim controller is far beyond the best experience you can have with this game. It is one-to-one tracking, it feels amazing. There is a slight bit of drift from time to time, but instead of having to reset your position, simply shaking the controller snaps the gun back to your direction. Playing with the aim controller makes for some other really unique experiences, like being able to put your gun out and shoot around a wall or over a railing. You can maneuver into some really tight spots and be able to get some really good shots off lining it up right. It's just a really fun, cool experience. I'd highly recommend it. If you own an aim controller, you need to own Firewall. No questions asked. Overall, the graphics are pretty good for a VR game. The level design is pretty well set up too. I do like that. The operator system is balanced, but has a bit of limited customization to it. The weapon customization is great, but a lot of the weapons seem to feel the same to me. There's really only one game mode, but that one game mode is great. You can play the game with a regular controller, but it's definitely designed for the aim controller, and you really feel the difference. I would highly recommend Firewall 0 Hour to anyone with a VR headset. If you have a regular PlayStation 4 controller, I'd still recommend trying it. It's fun, especially if you can get it this month for free. There's no excuse not to. My highest recommendation would be to play this game with an aim controller. If you have a PlayStation VR and you have Firewall, you should definitely try and hunt an aim controller down on eBay somewhere. It really completes the experience and makes for something that you will not soon forget. That's it for now. I'm Lindsay, and this has been the Game Forum. Check back with us for future reviews coming soon.